To the version of you that nobody missed, this one is for you. The one who slipped away quietly, who changed slowly over time, who tried, more than once, to be something better, softer, more manageable. The one who gave up pieces of yourself in exchange for approval you never really received. The one who faded into the background, hoping someone might notice. And when they didn't, you convinced yourself it must have been because you were never worth noticing in the first place. I see you. And not just the new version of you. Not just the one who has learned how to be more polite, more agreeable, more presentable. I see the version of you who felt forgotten while still in the room. The version of you who felt like you were never quite the right shape to fit into anyone's life comfortably. The version of you who silenced your laughter when it felt too loud. Who didn't speak up when you wanted to. Who made yourself small, hoping it would make someone else stay longer. The world told you to be less, and you listened. And what a heartbreaking thing that is, to listen to a world that never really heard you. To believe the silence was your fault. To believe that if no one missed you, you must not have mattered in the first place. But that version of you, the one who faded, mattered more than anyone ever told you. That version of you had depth, complexity, tenderness, fire, hope. That version of you had dreams no one asked about, feelings no one held, love no one saw. You gave so much of yourself, hoping someone would say, I miss who you were. But they didn't. And when that silence came, it confirmed your worst fears. Maybe you were never enough to be remembered. So you kept shrinking. You kept evolving. You kept changing your tone, your laugh, your style, your pace. You adapted to every room you entered. You became whoever you needed to be to survive the moment. And sometimes that worked. Sometimes it even got you praise. But it always left you empty, didn't it? Because the part of you that needed love never got it, only the version you performed did. And that grief? It's quiet. It's hard to name. It's not the grief of losing someone else. It's the grief of losing yourself and realizing no one noticed you were gone. That's a deep kind of pain. The kind that lingers in silence. The kind that doesn't always cry, but sighs. The kind that feels like standing in a crowded room where no one makes eye contact with you. The kind that builds walls around your softness because the risk of being unseen again feels unbearable. And I'm not here to tell you it wasn't real. It was. I'm not here to tell you you were overreacting. You weren't. I'm not here to tell you to move on. Because healing doesn't start by denying the pain, it starts by acknowledging it. So let's acknowledge it. There was a version of you that loved hard, that trusted quickly, that spoke with feeling, that believed people were as kind as you were. There was a version of you who believed that if you showed up fully, others would need you there. And when they didn't, when they left, when they misunderstood, when they laughed, when they forgot, something inside you closed. You didn't become colder, you just became more cautious. And maybe that made you safer. Maybe it protected you from the worst kinds of rejection. But it also left you wondering who you really are now. After all the changes. After all the masks. After all the times you shifted to be more likable, more helpful, more convenient. So let's go back. Not to undo the changes, but to honor the one who came before them. The one no one missed. The one no one said goodbye to. the one who was never given the love they deserved. That version of you still lives in your memory, in your body, in your soul, waiting, hoping, watching to see if you'll ever come back for them. You can come back, not to perform, but to hold, not to resurrect a false self, but to reclaim a real one. You don't need to be liked by the people who forgot you. You don't need to be missed by those who never really saw you. You just need to stop missing yourself. You need to sit beside the quiet grief of who you used to be and say, "I'm sorry. You didn't deserve that. You were enough all along. And I'm coming back for you now." Because you are allowed to miss the version of you that was softer, more hopeful, more curious, more alive. You are allowed to grieve the way you used to laugh, the way you used to trust, the way you used to speak without rehearsing. That wasn't weakness. That was you before the world taught you it wasn't safe to be you. And I know it still doesn't always feel safe. Not with everyone. Not in every room. Not in every season of life. But you are allowed to start with you. You are allowed to be a safe space for the parts of yourself that no one else protected. You are allowed to stop silencing the real you just to be accepted by people who never took the time to understand you in the first place. Because the truth is, if someone doesn't miss the real you, that doesn't mean you're unworthy. It means their love was never wide enough to hold you. And that's not your failure, it's theirs. You were always lovable, always valuable, always enough. The silence you received wasn't proof of your invisibility, it was proof of their blindness. You are not forgettable. You are not invisible. You are not background noise. You are someone who deserves to take up space. So tonight, I hope you let yourself feel what you've been holding in. I hope you cry for the version of you that was abandoned. I hope you mourn the laughter that got quieter. I hope you feel the anger that no one checked in. I hope you feel the longing that someone would finally say, "You were never too much. You were never wrong. And if no one else says it, I will. You were never too much. You were never wrong. You were just you, and that was always enough. You don't need to prove that now. You don't need to show receipts. You don't need to perform worthiness. You just need to remember. And remembering will hurt at first because that version of you didn't get what they needed. But in time, it will also heal. Because now you can be the one to give it to them. You can sit with them. You can say, "I see you." You can say, "I remember." You can say, "You mattered," even if no one else noticed. And in doing that, you will begin to heal. Not by erasing the past. Not by pretending it didn't hurt. But by bringing compassion to it. Because that's how we rewrite the story. That's how we stop abandoning ourselves. That's how we stop becoming smaller to fit into spaces that never made room for us. That's how we come back. And when you do, when you return to the version of you who was never missed, something in your spirit softens. Something in your heart breathes again. Because you're no longer waiting for someone else to validate you. You're no longer hoping someone else will say what you needed to hear. You're saying it to yourself. And that is the beginning of everything. So come back. Come back to your laugh. Come back to your voice. Come back to the version of you who felt too bold, too sensitive, too much. They were never too much, they were just too real for people who didn't know how to hold real things. You know how to hold real things now, because you've been broken, and mended, and broken again. And every time, you've come back softer, wiser, more present. You don't have to prove you're lovable. You just have to stop leaving yourself behind. You don't have to be who others expect you to be. You just have to remember who you were before you started trying to be what they wanted. And that version of you, the one nobody missed, they are still waiting, still beautiful, still worthy, still home. So go to them. Wrap your arms around them. Sit with their sadness. Celebrate their light. Let them know you didn't need to be missed to matter. You mattered all along.